and welcome. Today's topic is the Apollo program. NASA spent $24 billion on the Apollo program and hired 400,000 people during the Apollo program lifespan. Let's start off with me showing you one of the model Saturn V Lego rockets I made. And let's start off with the first stage. This has 5 F1 engines. This stage is very simple. It's just a fuel tank, some fins, and some engines. And this stage got it 42 miles high. And after that, the second stage kicks in with 5 J2 engines, and this gets it the rest of the way to space and into Earth orbit. After that, in the third stage, this one's more complicated. By the time the third stage kicks in, the launch escape tower will come off because it will only help if you're in Earth, if you're inside the atmosphere. So they're already outside of the atmosphere, so they don't need that. That actually comes off during the second stage. So this is one J2 engine, and this gets it on its lunar trajectory. So that means it's on its way to the moon. Before it reaches the moon, this fuel tank and engine come off, and then these fairings come off, and you get left with these two, the lunar module, the command module, service module, right like this. So they're not connected right now, so the command module and this part has to turn around and dock with it and then turn back around. And once it reaches the moon, it uses this engine to get in orbit around the moon. Then this undocks, lands on the moon, but when it lands on the moon, when it comes back to the rocket, only the top comes off. So the bottom stays on the moon. Then this comes up, connects, the astronauts get back in, then they use this engine to get out of lunar orbit back on their way to Earth. And they don't get into Earth orbit again. They trash this. They don't get into Earth orbit again. They get in a suborbital trajectory. So instead of getting in orbit around the Earth, they just do a suborbital trajectory where they do like part of an orbit and land. So then they get rid of this and they splash down into the ocean. Now that we've covered that, let's start talking about some of the missions. There was Apollo 8, which is the first mission to go out of Earth's gravitational field and into lunar orbit. And during that mission, Jim Lovell accidentally put in the wrong commands. So instead of the rocket going like this, he accidentally put it in thinking the rocket was on the launch pad, so it would keep correcting itself by going like this. And they put it back down, go up, put it back down, go up, put it back down, go up. So then after Apollo 8, there's Apollo 11, which of course you know, it was the first mission to land on the moon, and Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, and then there was Apollo 12 that landed. Apollo 13, it started off with this engine, the main F1 engine, cutting off too early. And the people at Mission Control said, you can abort the mission if you want to, like, you can still go on, but if you can abort if you want to. You can still be able to go to the moon, but if you want to, you can abort. So they said, okay, let's still go on. So they went on, and then they had another problem. One of the panels on the service module blew up. So after that, they knew, oh, we're not going to the... So first, Jim Lovell looked out the window and he saw this gas leaking. They figured out that was oxygen. And after that, they knew, oh, we're not going to the moon anymore. So they had to save power, because it was also running out of power, they had to go into the lunar module and they're docked still. They didn't land yet, and they had to go in there to save power. But there was one problem. This was only meant for 2 astronauts for 2 days. They had to have 3 astronauts for 3 days. So they needed another carbon dioxide filter because there was too much carbon dioxide. So they had to, and what they figured out was the problem was that the filters and the command module were different from the ones in the lunar module. So that's when they made that invention to make it so they could put another one in there. Then they came back to Earth, so they didn't land on the moon. Then Apollo 14 landed, 15, 16, 17. They all landed except Apollo 13. Only 12 astronauts got to go on the moon, but there could have been more, but I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it had something to do with Lyndon B. Johnson cutting off, I'm not sure. It was something with Lyndon B. Johnson and the Apollo program, and something happened where, I don't know what exactly happened, but something happened where they couldn't continue. So that's really it. Please subscribe, like the video, and thank you for watching. Oh, and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you for watching. Bye.